Oh, my finger's twitching. Hey guys. Hi, welcome back to another stream of Godfred playing video games because, I don't know, I like streaming. I really like streaming. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good old Tuesday. So far today's been... Shoot! That scared me! Nah, it's Amelia. I was like, what the fudge? Anyway. Well...
I come back, and this is how you guys treat me. You just
well,
I see how it is.
Yeah. Just tired. Really tired. Had Taco Bell today, again. I feel like we're gonna be having Taco Bell every single day this week, I feel like. But... yeah, I was informed by one of my friends today that the Pokemon Direct aired, like, literally 2 hours ago, like, since I started this stream, like about an hour or two ago. They announced some amazing things for Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters EX, Pokemon Go, all the Pokemon stuff, because obviously it's the Pokemon Direct, so everything about Pokemon. Now, they announced a title at the end of their Direct, which makes me very happy. Apparently, the Pokemon Legends series, I'm going to say that, is going to become a series, because this time they're doing Pokemon Legends A to Z, or A-Z, and I was like, bro, no way. And apparently it's Lumio City and the Kalos region. Now, if you know about my Pokemon history, I have played in every single region of Pokemon, with the exception of Unova and Kalos. I have never played Pokemon X or Pokemon Y. I never played Pokemon Black or Pokemon White. I did have some interaction with the Johto region with what was it? Pokemon Crystal. Because I played Pokemon Crystal. I beat Pokemon Crystal, if I remember correctly. I think I did beat Pokemon Crystal back when I had the Game Boy Color cartridge, and I could play Game Boy Color games. It was a long time ago, and like, yeah, it's a long time ago. I don't even know where my Pokemon Crystal cartridge is anymore. I don't have a Game Boy Advance SP anymore. And Game Boy Color games aren't really, aren't able to be played on, like, what is it, Pokemon, not, like, yeah, Pokemon Color games aren't really capable of being played on the Nintendo DS. Because the Nintendo DS, you could play Game Boy games, which I thought was freaking awesome, because you can play Game Boy games on the Nintendo DS and play DS games, of course. But what's wild is the fact that the game, now that I think about it, the Game Boy Advance games could be played on the Game Boy Advance, obviously the Game Boy Advance SP, as well as the GameCube, if you got the Game Boy Advance adapter, and the Nintendo DS, and the Nintendo DS Lite. Oh shoot. Dang, Game Boy Advance games were cool. I think Game Boy Advance and like GameCube were like great. Recently I heard from Jay that I think, fact check me on this, that the GameCube did not do well on its release, which surprises me because a lot of the classics are on GameCube. I had so much fun playing the GameCube. Oh my god. I still have my GameCube. Does it work? But I still have it. In fact, Jay Akari gave me the adapter to be able to play GameCube games and stream said GameCube games. So I might do that. I might actually do a challenge. This is a spur of the moment thing, but I always bragged about how one summer I would play Luigi's Mansion all the way through. Now, I've always said this, and in my latter years, now, I was like, I always think about, like, man, I don't think I really did that, but I do remember playing Luigi's Mansion, like, every day for a period. And I would just speedrun it. If I 100%ed Luigi's Mansion, it would take 5 hours. If I just do the bare minimum, it was 3 hours. Like, I was speedrunning it. And I would say it's a summer, so I plan to play Luigi's Mansion we're gonna see if I can do this. We're gonna see if I can. This is a high bar I'm setting for myself, considering how unproductive I am. I'll make some more announcements on that. Whether or not like, because I'm an adult, I work. Like I can't play Luigi's Mansion every single day. So when I have time to play it, then I will play it. Like later, so I'll probably start doing that May and then the end of July. So I think that is the time frame. Granted, there's going to be periods where I will not play Luigi's Mansion due to things, but I have a life outside of this, outside of work. I have tons of social circles. Don't mean to brag, but I do. So it is what it is. But yeah, no. Spur of the moment announcement. I will be doing a Luigi's Mansion challenge, the OG, original Luigi's Mansion, because I used to play that. I used to be terrified of that game. Funny enough, when I first got Luigi's Mansion from Costco, nonetheless. I remember playing the first part, and I was terrified because like the whole subject of ghosts and ghoulies and stuff. I was pretty scared of that. Um, but as I grew older and gained experience from Luigi's Mansion, I learned to handle it. So at first, Luigi's Mansion, and it's such a funny game, but some of the stuff in there is pretty like jump scary and scary, genuinely scary. Um, so I remember the first time I played it, I could not get past the parlor on the second floor. I could not because I was freaking out. I don't know what to do. And then over time, I learned. Well, yeah, I learned that I could. Well, I was taught because of my kid brain that if I flash the ghosts with my flashlight, they'll disappear. Like when you flash them, they get stunned and then they disappear. And I just kept doing that. I was like, oh, obviously this is what you need to do to like, defeat the ghosts. Not only later on did I realize, oh, I have to stun them and then use the Poltergust 3000 to suck them in. So, I also appreciate the Luigi's Mansion lore. So, in Luigi's Mansion, it's the Poltergust 3000. Then, the Poltergust was remodeled into a cart for Mario Kart DS, and it was called the Poltergust 4000. That's why, in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, you are given the Poltergust 5000, because the 4000 was used in Mario Kart DS as an exclusive cart for Luigi. Because when you play Mario Kart DS, every character is given 7 carts to choose from, up until you unlock the option that every character can drive every cart. I remember this because Liam, one of my best friends, gave me his Mario Kart DS game. And on that game, well, he didn't give it to me, he let me borrow it. And I triple starred the missions, I triple starred everything in there. I beat all the time trial ghosts on there too. So, yeah, I'm pretty well versed for Mario Kart DS. And like it's kind of sad to see that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with all the expansion packs that's been released, the booster course pack, it doesn't have certain characters that were in past Mario Kart games. For example, Rob is an exclusive Mario Kart character for Mario Kart DS. Same thing with Queen Bee, which I never really touched Mario Kart 7 much. But Mario Kart 7, I learned that Queen Bee is a playable character. Wiggler's a playable character in there too. Metal Mario was first introduced as a playable character in Mario Kart 7. And yeah, it was pretty dope. I thought that was really cool. I just thought it was really cool. But yeah, and then Luigi's Mansion 3, the Poltergust G00. Oh, it just dawned on me. The Poltergust G-00, the Poltergust goo. Bro, because then there's Gooigi, because Gooigi was first introduced in the Luigi's Mansion remake for the Nintendo 3DS. I have it. I never beat the Luigi's Mansion 3DS version. I got to see the part of the story where they changed it, so it's an alternate timeline. The Luigi's Mansion in the Nintendo 3DS is an alternate timeline where Professor Egod from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon sends his experiment back in time to gather data. And what better time frame than when he first encounters Luigi in the original Luigi's Mansion? So Luigi was introduced for Luigi's Mansion 3D for the Nintendo 3DS before like Switch, before like, you know, other games came out for like Wii U and Switch. It was during the end of the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U era, and it really, again, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are sad about this, but I'm pretty sad that the Nintendo eShop is out of service for the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U. And it's like, man, I mean, I got what I could. There is so much games I want to get on my wish list for Nintendo eShop for the 3DS and Wii U, and I just can't get it anymore. I'm like, I can't. Like, the good news though is that Nintendo did announce that all the stuff you bought in eShop under your account, you can still re-download it from like eShop. Let's say you uninstalled it, right? If you log onto eShop with your username and login info, you can still re-download it, which is pretty dope. It's just every other content is now unavailable to get. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad to see that. I still have my new Nintendo 3DS, like the fancy 3DS. But yeah, no, there's like leaks about like the new Nintendo Switch system coming out, and I'm like, oh, but anyway. Yeah, and I'm excited. If you guys don't know, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is getting a reboot and is being put on Switch, I think later this year, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it. I'm a Luigi's Mansion fan. I really am, despite not beating Luigi's Mansion 3D. I am a Luigi's Mansion fan. And also, I think the Luigi's Mansion 3D is a great remake, because not only was it put from a single screen to a dual screen, there were trophies, because in the original Luigi's Mansion, there aren't any trophy achievements. You can get it in Luigi's Mansion 3D. Like, there is apparently extra modes you can do, and you can get trophies based on how well you do them. And I was like, oh, I'll do it, and I hate to say this. I say I'm a Luigi's Mansion fan, and I'm gonna be a hypocrite now, because I was like, I played it. I played the first couple, like, moments with it, and I was like, okay, I'm good, I'm done. And I never once touched it again, ever since, like, I got it on release, played like probably 10 to 30 minutes of it, and never once touched it again. And then Luigi's Mansion 3 dropped, and I beat that game. I did not 100% it though, which is really surprising. I did not 100% it, but I still think Luigi's Mansion is like by far the best game in the series. And then like if I had to rank all the Luigi's Mansions, if you include the remake, I'd be like Luigi's Mansion 3D, Luigi's Mansion 3, and then Luigi's Mansion The Dark Moon. And when I see the Dark Moon reboot, I will see where that falls in that tier list of all the Luigi's Mansions released thus far. I'm including remakes, I'm not including ports, because there's a difference between a remake and a port. A port is literally verbatim copying and pasting, versus a reboot is copy, change it so it doesn't look like the original, and paste. That's essentially what it's literally when you copy someone's homework. You're like, just make sure that it's not obvious that, that we copied each other, just making sure. I know I've brought this up, but that reminds me, in my time at university, I was writing a report with my lab group, and we typed up our report. And the thing is we're a group, right? So we have the same amount of like results. We came to the same conclusion because we did the experiment together. So me and my lab partners we were like typing up a report on our laptops, finished our report, submitted it. Next thing you know, I get called in by the professor, or I get an email, or I get confronted by the professor in terms of plagiarism. Now, plagiarism's a serious deal. Like, you don't want to be caught with plagiarism, because then it just destroys your credibility, and you get in a load of trouble. So, here's the crazy thing, though, right? The plagiarism case, I say case, but it was just like a notice. It was like an accusation, I guess. So, all of our reports go through a system when we submit it, and it scans the report to see if, like, oh, did you copy someone else's work, right? Okay, so there's that. So, we submit our reports, and then I think me, and I think it wasn't just me, I think it was some of my lab partners, our reports, were compared, and it seems like there could be some possible plagiarism with another team's papers, and we were like, what the fuck? And then the teacher's like, is there plagiarism here? Like, did you guys interact with the other team? And we're like, no, we didn't. And it's like, oh, okay, never mind. It was scary because I was like, I thought I was done for. I was like, no, I didn't cheat. I don't want to retake this course again. It was methods and measurements. I remember because I took it during the summer. It was a course called methods and measurements where you study the method of measurements. Like, oh, the margin of errors. Can you truly measure something? How true is that measurement? All that stuff. Accuracy versus precision and all that fun stuff. And I just remember just like, hmm, what the fudge? Because and the crazy thing is that even though the entire team, me and my lab partners, had the same results, we still had to type up our reports to make it not the same. So we couldn't just make a singular report and send it in, even though we all did it together, which I think is kind of silly. But I get why plagiarism, whatever. But like, we all have the same results. We still have to make our own conclusions, at least, and our conclusions should, be consensual, meaning like it should be the same around the board, just worded differently. So it's kind of silly, but I'm like, I guess I see it. I mean, that's how. Hey, if that's how they do it, whatever. It's like, okay, we'll try. But it was crazy to be like, hey, you're copying from another team's papers when we never interacted with that team. Because sometimes you get those moments where it's like, how come your papers are like almost identical, even though you guys didn't like talk to each other? And it's like, I don't know, I just mind my own business. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon, and Mario Kart. Um, I don't know. So there were rumors that there was going to be a brand new Mario Kart. I think like 2 years ago, and I think it was just the booster course pass. But I wonder if they're going to make a new Mario Kart. Like, honest to God, are they going to make a new Mario Kart? I'd be down. I was excited. I was like, oh, okay. Like, for a new Mario Kart for Switch, I mean, they came out with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I was like, okay, that was like Mario Kart 8 from Wii U. And, I mean, I guess, but like, are you gonna make a new one, I guess? And to be fair, I wouldn't blame them, Nintendo, if they don't make another Mario Kart, because they essentially made another Mario Kart in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was simply, what is it? 5 times 4. It's like 20 new courses plus like 8 new characters. I was like, okay, that truly makes Mario Kart 8 Deluxe a deluxe. Like, oh, and it's so funny because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released in 2017, one of the first Switch games to release on Switch. And the funny thing is that in 2022, 5 years later from release, Nintendo's like, bro, guys, what if we made downloadable content for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? And I was like, you crazy people. You know I'd eat that up. I'm a Mario Kart fan. I have Mario Kart Tour. I just don't play it as much. So I'm not as much as a Mario Kart fan as I thought I'd be. Mario Kart Tour is fun. So.
Yes, I'm gonna go.
Ugh. So, yeah. We're going to learn some Japanese, and then I'm going to take time to continue making progress in Mario vs. Donkey Kong, because I keep saying, nah, we'll get there. And then I just end up playing Genshin Impact for the rest of the stream, and I'm like, oh, I really should commit here. So we'll play some Mario vs. Donkey Kong after I finish learning some Japanese. So. Okay. Alright, okay.
We tried.
Today, we have Lesson 4, Self and Well-Being, Core Lesson 4.3, for 10 minutes. Let us begin. I'm burping.